Hello everyone, welcome to today's class. Today we're going to be working on the abs and the core. You'll feel it a little bit in your arms too, but we're mostly just focusing on the core today, our center of everything. So when you're ready, we're going to start standing up. Just taking a moment to ground ourselves before we get started. So stand with your feet about hip width apart with a soft bend in the knees. Roll the shoulders back. Take a moment to connect to your breath. Just bringing awareness to every inhale and every exhale. Deepening the breath. Softening the face and the shoulders, while maintaining a tight core and a strong footing. Bring your hands together at your heart, pressing the palms together, creating that little ball of energy between the hands, and igniting that energy before your practice so that you can go through your practice with light and joy and strength. If you need to set an intention for yourself today, this is the perfect time to do so. It can be a positive affirmation or just a word or feeling that keeps you going. Letting it fully embody you and carry you throughout your practice. Good. And then when you're ready, softly flutter open the eyes, keeping the hands in prayer, and meet me at the back of your mat. So your hands are in prayer, keeping that hip width distance between the feet. Send your prayer all the way up to the sky, maybe even finding a little soft back bend here. Good, and then release the hands and swan dive down to a fold. Bending softly into the knees, swaying a little side to side. Resting the head heavy, and let go here. Take a few deep cleansing breaths, maybe straighten out one leg and then the other so you can get that nice stretch before we go. And then when you're ready, bend your knees and softly walk your hands out to a plank. So you're in a high plank here. You're welcome to keep your knees against the mat, whatever feels best for you. Wherever you are, engage the thighs and send those heels back as if you're pressing against the wall behind you. Find that hollow back. Pull the belly in towards the spine. Your hands directly beneath each shoulder. Shift forward an inch and back an inch on the toes. Give me 10, 9, 8. Continue that breath. For 6, 5. Keep the belly tight. For 3, 2, 1. Good. And drop the knees. Take a big inhale. Drop the belly, lift the gaze, open up the chest. And exhale. Pull the belly up towards the spine and the spine towards the ceiling. Tucking the chin into the chest. Inhale, coming back up, scooping under. Exhale, pulling everything into that C shape. One more, just like that. Inhale. And exhale. Let it all out. Good. Come on down to your forearms here. Press your hands into prayer, keeping your elbows directly beneath the shoulders. Pull the belly in towards the spine to find length in the spine. We want to avoid that arch in the back. And then slowly step one foot back and then the other. So you're in a forearm plank here. Good. Really find your foundation, keeping that long line. Stay steady in your upper body and slowly lower the knees to the ground and back up. So you're just barely hovering over the ground and then extending back out long. Give me 10, 9, 8, 7, gaze between your hands, for 5, 4, continue to breathe, last 2, and 1. Good. Send your hips up. Walk your feet in just a little bit so you're still on your forearms here. Continue to breathe. Similar to a downward dog, but we're staying on the elbows. Pedal out the feet. Pull the lower ribs in. Good, and then come to stillness. And from here, find that plank and then shift your hips back up. So when you come up, come onto your tippy toes and then back into the low plank. So you're finding that variation of downward dog and then your forearm plank. Give me 5 more. For 4, reach those heels back. 3, you're gonna feel it in your arms. 2, and last 1. Good. Drop the knees down, reach your arms forward, and sink that chest heavy. So your hips are still in the air, similar to a child's pose, letting the chest drop really heavy towards the mat. It doesn't have to be touching the mat. Reach those fingertips forward. Really just relaxing in the arms and letting everything go. And then lean into that left forearm. Reach your right arm up high and thread it underneath your left arm to get a nice little twist here. Twisting in the upper body, decongesting for a moment, and then come back up, reaching up high, and release that hand. Leaning into your right hand this time. Reach the left arm up high and thread it underneath that right arm. Resting on the left side of the face. Take a few deep breaths. Wonderful, and then come back up to a tabletop position. Claw through your fingertips, tuck the toes under, and send those hips up. So now we're really in a downward dog. Walk your feet out just a little bit to widen your stance. Shine the chest towards the toes. Pull those lower ribs in. Continue to breathe deeply here. Good, and then walk your feet to your hands and fold. Take a deep inhale to find that halfway lift, finding length in the spine, pulling the shoulder blades back. And exhale, fold. Inhale, ground through your feet and reach your arms up high above you, just like we started. Take a deep inhale here. And exhale, swan dive back down to your fold. Good. Plant the palms, find that high plank. Shift forward on the toes and lower all the way down to your belly. Bring your hands right beside your lower ribs. Untuck the toes so you're resting on the tops of the feet, pointing the toes to engage the thighs. Take a deep inhale here as you press up into a soft back bend, maybe even lifting your pelvis and your thighs off the ground. So you're getting a nice stretch in the abdominal muscles here. Good, and slowly release. Let it all go. Find your way back to your downward dog and pedal it out. Good. Come to stillness. Drop that left heel heavy. It doesn't have to be touching the mat. And extend your right leg up high, pointing the toes, square off the hips. Really extending that leg, keeping it straight. Take a deep inhale here. Good, and then as you exhale, you'll shift forward, sending your knee towards your right elbow, cross it to your left elbow, back to your right, and then shoot it back up to the sky. We're gonna do 4 more of those. So take that deep inhale, shooting up towards the sky, and exhale, right elbow, left, right, and extend. Coming back into the plank, right, left, right. Good, 2 more, just like that. Right, left, right, and extend it up high. 1 more, rolling into that plank, switching elbows, and back up. Good, extend it high, drop it down, pedal it out. Keep your face soft and relaxed as you continue to breathe. Drop that right heel heavy this time. Continuing that exact same thing on the left side. So you're extending your left leg up high. Take a deep inhale here, square off the hips. And on your exhale, shift forward to that plank. Tap right elbow, tap left elbow, right, left, and back up. Take an inhale. Exhale, left, right, left, and back up. Keep it going, 3 more. It's okay if you're not touching the elbows directly. Just imagine that you are reaching as far forward as you can. Good, keep it going. Extend it up high, 1 more. And left, right, left, and back up. Good. Drop your left leg and roll forward to a high plank. Drop your knees to the mat and take a modified chaturanga. So we just put a lot of pressure on the arms. We've worked them out. So we're basically doing the same thing as before, but from a modified plank. So you're shifting forward on the knees and then lowering all the way down to your belly. Kind of taking a knees, chest, chin approach. Good, and then bring your hands back to those ribs, pressing against the mat. Find your upward facing dog. Take a deep inhale. Stretching out the stomach. Good, and then open your knees wide. Send your hips back onto your heels, your big toes touching. Reach the fingertips far forward and melt your chest towards the ground. Good. And then come up onto your hands and knees. Swing your legs around to come to sit down. On your bottom, your legs out in front of you. And sit up nice and tall here. Pull the belly in towards the spine. You can grab onto the back of your knees. Whatever feels good for you. Roll the shoulders back and slowly tuck, starting from the tailbone. And then the belly. Releasing your lower back to the floor, super slow and controlled. Then your middle back and your upper back. Good. Rest your head against the mat, hug your knees in towards your chest and rock a little side to side for a breath. Massaging the lower back. And then release your legs. And send them into a tabletop position. So you want to keep a somewhat 90-degree angle in the legs here. Your shins are parallel to the mat here. Your knees just directly above the hips. You don't want to go too far forward with the knees or too far back because those will make the posture less effective and more difficult for you. So keeping your knees stacked directly over the hips. Bring your fingertips behind your head without interlacing the fingers, just softly keeping the fingertips against the head so you're not putting too much pressure on the neck when we crunch forward. Good. So take a deep inhale here. And on your exhale, lift out of head, neck, and shoulders. Gaze towards your belly. Tap your right toes to the mat and come back up. left toes to the mat, come back up. So you're gazing towards your belly, keeping that bend in the knees the entire time as you lower down. Give me 8 more each side. Right toes and your left. Good. 7 more. Continue to breathe. Nice and slow. For 6. Relax the face. For 5. Good. Left and up. Try not to rock and sway too much when you bring the knees back up to that table. Good. For 3. Lift out of head, neck, and shoulders a little bit higher. For 2. Right toes, left toes, and back up. Last one. See if you can raise your upper body just a little bit higher. Good. And release. Hug it in. You're doing a great job. Come back to that tabletop position with the legs. Your hands behind your head, fingertips to the sides of the head. Tuck your chin slightly here. Really pressing that lower back into the mat. Take a deep inhale to prepare. And exhale, lift up out of head, neck, and shoulders. Gaze towards the belly, this time tapping both toes to the mat and back up to your table. For 10, 9, nice and slow and controlled. For 8, 7, 6, remembering not to rock and sway too much. For 5, 4, gaze towards your belly. For 3, 2, continue to breathe. 1 more, you got it. Good. Hug it in. Rock a little side to side. Take a deep breath. Good. Extend your legs out long. Bring your hands back behind your head. Keeping the legs strong. Bend your right knee to that tabletop position. Take a deep inhale here. And on your exhale, lift up out of head, neck, and shoulders. And see if you can reach that left elbow to hook outside of the right knee. And then come back through center, switching legs. Keep that right leg hovered. Turn over to your left side and back up. So bring them both to table and then switch. So right leg in, left leg out, left leg in, right leg out. Nice and slow here. Give me 9 more each side. Rotating as far as you can, as if you're hooking that elbow. Give me 7 more. Gaze towards your belly. Keeping that extended leg hovered. 5 more. Good. Keep a steady breath. For 4. 3. 2. Good. On this last one, see if you can lift up out of that shoulder a little bit higher and back to center. Let it go. Hug your knees in. Come back to that table. Bring your hands behind your head. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift up out of head, neck, and shoulders. Taking those bicycle crunches a little bit faster this time. Crossing right and left. Right, left. Give me 10 more just like that. 8, 7, 6, 5. Gaze towards your belly for 4, 3, 2, almost there, and 1. Good. Hug it in. Woo, you can feel it there now. Good. Rock a little side to side. Extend your legs out long and your arms up overhead so your biceps are framing your ears now. And just shake everything out for a moment. Stretching everything long. Take a deep breath. Good. And then similar to what we were just doing, but slightly different. Keeping your legs pointed and extended long against the mat. Bring your right fingertips behind your head this time, and your left arm out long. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale and lift out of head, neck, and shoulders, you'll reach those left fingertips towards your right toes, keeping a diamond-shaped bend in the right leg. And then extend it back out long. Hover the right leg. Don't drop it. And then crunching back into that side. So you're really getting those side obliques here. And back up. Good. Extend. And bend. Extend. Really lift up out of that left shoulder blade. Continue to breathe. Good, nice and controlled. Use those quad muscles and extend it out long. Give me 3 more. Extend for 2. Keeping the toes pointed. Last one. And extend, shake it all out. And switching sides. So bring your left fingertips behind your head. Your right hand out long, pointing the toes. Really focus on also keeping your grounded leg engaged throughout the whole left side. So even though we're working the left side, we're keeping that grounding leg strong as well so that we can have a nice foundation for the posture. Good. Take a deep inhale here. And on your exhale, lift up out of head, neck, and shoulders. Bend that left leg into the diamond shape. Reach for those left toes and extend it out long without dropping the left heel. Keep it hovered. Bending into that diamond shape and extend it back down. Reach and extend, slow and controlled. Bending into those left obliques, really giving them a nice tight squeeze, and back out. Good. Point the toes, engage that right leg too, and reach. Extend and reach. Good. Give me 3 more here. Reach for those toes and back out. 2 more. Come up out of that right shoulder blade. Extend it out long. 1 more. Reach it forward and extend. Good. Shake everything out here. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself the biggest hug yet today. Take a deep inhale through the nose and a long exhale out the mouth. Hug yourself even further into a ball, maybe grabbing for the outer edges of the feet and tucking your nose towards your knees. Really engaging. Good, and then let everything go. Amazing work. Bring your hands behind your thighs. Cross your ankles and slowly rock forward and back, softly massaging that spine. And then on your third rock, come all the way forward, send those knees behind you into a tabletop position. Tuck the toes, peel the hips up and back to your downward dog, stretching out those legs. Good. Feels so good after all our hard work on the core to just loosen up. Wonderful. And then roll forward to your last plank of the day. Hold it here for 10, 9, 8. You got it. Press away from the mat for 6, 5, 4. Soften the face for 2, and 1. Lower all the way down to your belly. Good. Untuck the toes. Press up to your upward facing dog, engaging the thighs, maybe even lifting the pelvis off the mat. Roll the shoulders back. Good. And then open those knees wide. Send your hips back onto your heels for a breath. Reaching forward. Let everything go. And slowly swing your legs around and come to meet me in an easy cross-legged seat. You've earned it. You've done so good today. Take a deep inhale, reach the arms up high. And on your exhale, send your right fingertips to the mat. Extend the left arm up and over. Good. And back up through center. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, left fingertips to the mat. Right fingertips reaching to the side. And back up. Give me one more each side, following the rhythm of your own breath. Back up through center and over to the left side. Good. Release the hands in prayer at your heart. Soften the breath. Soften the shoulders. And notice this amazing shift that you feel inside your body and maybe inside your mind as well. Notice the warmth that you feel, the energy that you've built, the strength that you have within you for going through a practice like this. Whether it's 5 minutes, 15 minutes, or 50 minutes, any amount of time each day is absolutely worth it and will give you incredible results, not only physically but mentally. It only takes just a few minutes each day to come back to your breath and give your body the nourishment that it needs with that mindful movement to feel your best. If you set an intention earlier, maybe come back to it now. Let it carry you throughout your day. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you again soon on the mat. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. This was a short and spicy flow. I really enjoyed it and I hope you did too. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe. I post videos like this every week, offering free quality yoga and Pilates to the world. Feel free to share it with anyone who you think would benefit from it as well. We're always trying to grow our community of mindful people who want to move their bodies and get their minds feeling their healthiest and happiest. So thank you so much for being here today, and I will see you next time. Bye.